I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Books Reviews. Today we are doing the book Haven by Mary Lindsey, except when we got our ARCs, it was called Hide From Me. This is the cover, don't cover. And we both got this book at BEA. It's actually a funny story.
I forgot that they changed the title.
They did. And you'll see the new cover. I'll put it up. And the new cover is beautiful. I like this cover. And the new cover makes more sense. But Sarah got the book at BEA, and then we were sitting, and she's like, oh, and I just picked up this book. I didn't know the author. And I was like, I love that author. So, I ran across the whole expo to try to get the book. And they're like, oh, we're not giving them out anymore. And I'm like, please, I'm a librarian. I vlog. I'm like, if I give you my email, can I get an e-arc? Thinking that might work. And then somebody that was there was like, oh, she's like, we'll just give her one more book. She seems like she actually wants to read it. And I was like, could I possibly meet the author? And the lady who I was talking to says, I am the author. And so she gave me the book, and she signed it, and I was very excited because I read her book Shattered Souls many lifetimes ago when it first came out, and I was a big advocate of it. I was a fan. It's another interesting book with a beautiful cover. So this book is now called Haven, not Hide From Me, by Mary Lindsey, and it's about Rain Ryland. And he's always been kind of lost. His mother hasn't been able to protect him, and they've spent most of their lives living in shelters. But when Rain's mother dies, he is sent to live with an aunt he never knew he had in a town he's never heard of called New Wardsburg. Once in his new home, Rain encounters Freddie, a beautiful girl with a dangerous secret that will draw Rain into a world he never knew could exist. And I don't want to say this is paranormal, but I don't want to say what the paranormal is because I feel like it's kind of a slow reveal. And
I still don't think we know everything.
No. So I'm hoping, Sarah and I both said, I feel like we need a sequel, like a follow-up, not a sequel, because I feel like the main characters in this book, their story's done, but maybe a book in their worlds.
Well, I think, yeah, because I want to know more about the surrounding characters. I definitely think, taking an Abby Glines look at this by focusing on different characters in each book would really work very well for this book.
So it's a super fast read.
Yeah.
I read it, in 2 days, and it's a long book. It's told from a boy's perspective. It's a paranormal romance from a boy's perspective, which you don't see a lot.
I think it was really great how she flips gender in this book.
Yes.
As far as telling this kind of supernatural story from a male perspective, you don't see that all that often. But then you've also got females in power. You've got the only police officers in town are all female.
Right.
So it's just really kind of great that she flips genders in here, and I really appreciate that, and I definitely hope that more of that occurs.
And I feel like she did that in her other books. It's been a long... I looked it up, and I read her first book, at least I think it was her first book. I read Shattered Souls 5 years ago. So I don't remember them as well as I would like.
So that's 1,500 books ago.
I know, it's a long time ago. And I also liked the fact that it was the romance from the boy's perspective. You don't get that a lot either.
No, I agree with that. My thing is, Freddie wasn't my favorite. Freddie is the female lead. She was not my favorite character. I really liked a lot of the other characters way more than I liked her. I really liked Rain, who is the male lead.
Yeah.
I loved a lot of the characters that I'm supposed to like. But Freddie just never really grew on me.
But think about how many paranormal romance books you've read where you like the female main character and the one that she's so in love with, you're like, why does she want him? And I don't think Freddie got to that point, but Freddie was a little hard to connect with, but I think that was part of her story.
Well, and I think you make a good point as far as in these kind of supernatural fiction, you really do have to have insta-love.
Right.
You do.
Right.
It just, in order for the plot to move the way it needs to move, you really have to have a sense of insta-love. And maybe that's what I was missing with Freddie. That I don't notice it as much the other way around just because it's what is expected, but because she flips the script, maybe that's why it's more noticeable.
Yes. And the kind of paranormalness that's going on here, I don't want to, like I said, I feel like it's a surprise. It's not a surprise, but it's a slow reveal. I feel like it's kind of fallen out of fashion, and I like that she chose to revisit that as opposed to some of the other ones that you still see all the time.
Well, and I definitely think the combination that she uses of supernatural elements is not something that I've ever seen before.
There's a lot of mythology.
I super love the one aspect of the supernatural, and I'm okay with the other part, but I've never seen the two kind of tied together without some of the other elements.
And yeah, and she brings in mythology and all sorts of stuff too.
Yeah, it's good. And I really liked how there was a comparison between kind of living in the inner city, and then and like gang violence with this supernatural element. It's very interesting.
Yes. it was different. It was like it was a little fresh. It
was unique, and the story was very racy, as you were.
It was, yeah. So the romance is told from a teenage boy perspective, and it gets physical really fast. Which, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
so it was well written.
It was well written. It pushes the limits
It
to the
does.
point that I probably would give it to an older teen as opposed to a younger one.
That's true.
You know, because they have fun times.
They do.
On the page. So
we should just rate it.
Alrighty.
So our ratings scale starts at 5 unicorns, goes down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's just a horse. I'm gonna give it 4 unicorns. I liked it. It was different. It was fast. I like the way she writes.
I'm gonna give it 4 unicorns too. I will read another book in this series, whether it's about the 2 main characters or about a different set of main characters. I thought it was fast as well, and it was interesting, and it was unique.
And that is where we are on Haven by Mary Lindsey.
So we'll see you around.
Bye.